We'll drive success, Richardson. O'Farrell take charge at West's Tigers. Welcome to the NRL News channel. Subscribe and stay updated with the main news. Let's go to the news. Former NSW Premier Barry O'Farrell has vowed that he and Shane Richardson will work together to steer West's Tigers in the right direction after being appointed to oversee a fresh start for the club. In the biggest off-field shake-up since the formation of the joint venture, West's Tigers CEO Justin Pascoe resigned and the board was dismissed after a vote to accept the recommendations of an independent review into the club's governance and culture. The sweeping changes will see Richardson, the two-time premiership-winning CEO with Penrith, 2003, and South Sydney, 2014, replace Pascoe, while O'Farrell will be chairman, a role he previously held in 2019. The pair will work with an interim board comprising of one representative from each of the West's Tigers' three stakeholders, West's Magpies, Balmain Tigers and the Holman Barnes Group. Of the 7 previous directors, only Danny Stapleton will remain as he is a conduit between the board and the football department at West's Tigers, with high-profile chairman Lee Hagapantelis among those to depart. Hagapantelis also operates as the major sponsor of the club through Bryden's lawyers, who are contracted as the primary partner through to the end of 2024. We all share one goal, to see the West's Tigers again become a real force in the NRL on and off the field, said Stapleton, chairman of the Balmain Tigers. Former Australian cricket fast bowler Dave Gilbert will join O'Farrell and Stapleton on the interim board as a representative of the Holman Barnes Group, while the West's Magpies will appoint a director in coming days. They will eventually be joined by 4 independent directors, including the chair, with O'Farrell and Richardson appointed to their roles until the end of the 2024 season. O'Farrell was NSW Premier for 3 years until 2014 and has always had strong links with West's Tigers, becoming chair in 2019 before taking up a role as High Commissioner to India. Richardson has more than 30 years of experience in management and has a proven track record in rebuilding clubs at Cronulla, Hull FC, Penrith and South Sydney, while also working for the NRL. After luring Richardson from the Panthers, who he helped transform from wooden spooners to premiers in 2 years, a South director declared, Shane Richardson is the Darren Lockyer of Rugby League CEOs. Under his leadership, the Sharks qualified for the 1997 Super League Grand Final, the Panthers won the 2003 Premiership and the Rabbitohs ended a 43-year title drought in 2014. The Rabbitohs were struggling for survival after being reinstated to the NRL in 2002, but Richardson and chairman Nick Pappas turned around the fortunes of the club by selling a 75% stake to Russell Crowe and Peter Holmes-Acourt. The move coincided with on-field success, with Souths qualifying for their first finals series since 1989 in 2007 and reaching at least as far as the preliminary final in 8 of the past 12 seasons, including grand finals in 2014 and 2021. One thing is clear, this club is determined to provide the leadership required to be successful in the NRL, Holman Barnes Group chairman Tony Andriacchio said. We are determined to be successful for our members and fans, and that process begins in the front office. Richardson is expected to outline his plans to turn around the fortunes of the wooden spooners at a press conference on Wednesday, but he believes West's Tigers need to show more patience with coaches and faith in their pathways. West's Tigers great Benji Marshall, who replaces Tim Sheens, is the club's 9th coach since the 2005 Premiership-winning Mentor's first stint ended in 2012. The West's Tigers have got an unbelievable recruitment area, Richardson said last month on the By Round with James Graham podcast. They won the Harold Matthews U16s competition a few years ago. They are more than competitive at SG Ball, so they've got all things in place like Penrith, like Parramatta, to come through. But instead of actually working towards a plan to get that through, they charge off and they chase players that they are never going to be a chance of picking up. No kid will leave a club if he thinks he's going to be the halfback in 3 years' time. He'll leave the club when it shuts off to him, so when you bring players in you've got to think what opportunities you're blocking off for the kids coming through. If you do that, and you allow for that in your planning, those kids will stay with you and that's where you'll get your loyalty. But Wests don't do that. They want the big hit. That's why they get beat every week. Andriacchio said the final report of independent review of the club, by former NRL CFO Tony Crawford and businessman Gary Barnier, was submitted to Holman Barnes Group last week. He said Holman Barnes Group believed it was important to move quickly to accept the key recommendation to appoint a new leadership team without delay, with the new team then able to implement the other recommendations from the review. The West's Magpies and the Balmain Tigers said they fully support the refresh aimed at delivering long-term success for the club. Andriacchio thanked Pascoe and Hagapantelis for their dedication and hard work for the West's Tigers. Lee and Justin faced enormous challenges, but they have left a legacy which gives us a strong base for the future, he said. In particular, they leave us with a world-class center of excellence, and the club is in a stronger financial position because of the relationships they established with sponsors and other supporters. Leave your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to leave your like.